So a lot of these Scottish players immigrated to Canada after World War II, presumably, right? Like, is that right? So? Like, how does that work? Why did they move?
We're a good example of that. Number one, jobs. The war recovery in the UK was severe after 1946-47. They're still cleaning up. And the hope for a better life. And if you happen to have been a piper or a drummer, there was opportunities. The first one that came to mind was out in Powell River, BC. Powell River has a lumber company, okay? And that was a perfect place for people to go, like Geordie Pride, who played with Edinburgh Police, and a bunch of other people, and they formed a real, of the era, a good standard pipe band. In our particular case, 1953, I mentioned my association with Hugh McPherson in Scotland.
Yes.
Well, he became a magistrate in Edinburgh and was really associated with and he was also a past president of the RSPBA. It wasn't the Royal Scottish, it was just the Scottish Pipe Band Association at the time. And John Kirkwood had led the Shots Drum Corps to the World's Championship at Ayr in '52. And at that particular point, Hugh McPherson set up a possibility of him coming to the St. Catharines Pipe Band to take over the drum section and bring the whole Shots Corps with him. Now, how does that work? We are General Motors town, and we have people in General Motors that can assist in getting them jobs. And every one of the players that came across got jobs either in General Motors or in Thompson Products, which was a automobile supply company. We had jobs waiting for them. Worcester, which you're familiar with, much the same. They could offer jobs. And these jobs were certainly higher paying. And this situation existed for me right up to 1981. I'm going to give you a little bit of history here. In 1981, Johnny Kirkwood Jr. had left, getting ready to leave for, he had already been over to play with Muirheads, okay? And he'd come back to Canada. And we needed a drum corps that was going to be a world class. We did have a pipe section that was, bordering on it. And so we negotiated after Muirheads went under with Rab Turner, Tony Burns, and Johnny Kirkwood. In other words, the Muirheads Drum Corps. And at that time, our band president was in the personnel department of General Motors, and we secured jobs for these people in General Motors. For a variety of reasons, it never went through, but we were able to provide that incentive for them to come. So this went on through the 70s. A lot of players came over. And it's an economic thing as wanting something better for your family immediately after the war. That's how John Wilson, my teacher, came across. He emigrated in '49, 4 years after the war ended. He'd been a prisoner of war prior to that,